Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming back together into this big room where we can all see each other's faces and talk about how we want to resolve this matter. We spoke to Jackie and we spoke to both Nissan and Ben, and we generated some options on how we could fulfill each other's requests. I would just like to have the two of you peaceably talk together about how you intend to resolve the matter. What concerns Jackie is rent payment. What concerns Nissan and Ben is their ability to stay in the apartment without any further demands. Only the request that they consented to, that they be responsible for paying back some of the rent to you in these coming months. Uh, let's open it up. Please, Jackie, speak.
Okay, sure. So, really in order for us to come to some kind of agreement here, there's a couple of things that I really need for Ben and Nissan to acknowledge and for us to, you know, be able to move forward and me to feel confident that, I'm gonna get paid because at the end of the day, the businessman that Ben is and the, future lawyer that Nissan is, they should both be able to understand and respect the fact that they did enter into a contract with me. So at the end of the day, what I think would be reasonable would be for them each to pay me, $700 each a month, and that the back payment should be due to me. Obviously it's already due to me. They already lived there for those months, so they already owe it. I think that should be due, by the end of the year. I think that is more than fair, more than reasonable, and I just would like some reassurance from them. And also, I would like if they could just acknowledge the fact that I am being reasonable, and I would like them to acknowledge the fact that, just because of this is going on doesn't mean they get to live for free. I mean, I can't kick them out, but it's still a business contract. And I really would like us to all be able to realize that. But at the end of the day, it really does come down to the numbers. So $700 each a month, I think, is more than fair when I'm cutting $300 off each, which is a $600 loss to me. I still have to pay the utilities, which I don't have them pay. I cover those. I still have to pay taxes on the building. I have to cover my mortgage. I'm not making any profit whatsoever. So, I'm simply just trying to get by. And I think if everyone is on the same page, with that feeling, I think it would be really fair for them to pay me $700 each when they owe me $1,000 each, a month. So like I said, I'm not making any profit here. I need to be paid my back payments by the end of the year. And I really just, like I said also, I just want a form of acknowledgement from them that this is reasonable and this is fair, because I want us to be on the same page. I want, when I go to work, and not that I know when I'm going to work these days, but when I can go to my salon and I see them coming and going, I don't want to have an issue with them. I don't want a problem. I want us to, act like respectable adults who can say hello like we did before. And I don't want them to just, be acting like I did something wrong to them when, they entered into this contract. I'm providing them the roof over their head. I can't put them out, on the street, nor do I want to. I just want to get paid. I just want to get paid so I can sustain my life just like they want to sustain their life during these hard times. And that's really it.
I really thank you, Jackie, for expressing yourself so eloquently. You not only told us the amount that you're requesting, but why it is of value to you. And you wish to be heard, and the fact that you're approaching them in a very respectable, responsible manner, and you're just asking them to respect the fact that you are a reasonable businesswoman making reasonable demands. Now, Nissan, Ben, would you tell me what are your thoughts on what Jackie has just mentioned? Um, do you think the things that she has said sound reasonable to you? Can you put yourself in her position while still maintaining your own?
Yeah, I heard, very clearly. I understand where Jackie's coming from. Um, I'm not willing to pay 700. Willing, I can't. I can't pay $700 a month right now. Um,
Just to add to that, I think that, Ben, do you agree with paying off at the end of the year? Because I know Jackie said that she would take the $3,000 towards the end of the year. She doesn't want it right now. So I think that's something we agree with. And at least on my end, I really do appreciate how considerate you are being. But I just want you to understand that $700 is a little bit out of our budget, from what I understand.
Okay, so what Ben and Nissan have just stated is that $700 is a lot of money for them, and they think that they will come across difficulty paying that money. Now, this was stated in a fully respectful manner. No disrespect to Jackie or her reasonable request that she be paid some rent. Jackie, what do you think about what you've just heard?
I mean, obviously I want to be paid $1,000 a month, and to be told $700 is just not going to happen is again very frustrating. It's just part of this whole process that's just so frustrating for me. Um, I do appreciate that they're saying that they're going to pay that, that back payment towards me. Um, I would like some, I mean, listen, I would like to say, oh yeah, put it in writing, but our lease is already in writing. So, I mean, that's not necessarily going to guarantee me that back payment either. But I need to know if they're going to say 700 is too much, what can they pay? What do they reasonably think that they can pay me, every month?
Okay, now Jackie has asked the both of you, what do you think that you can reasonably pay? What can you offer? We had some discussion about this in the caucus. Maybe you could, come up with those options that we generated together. Do you have any ideas, Nissan and Ben?
I can do $400 for now.
Okay, I hear Nissan saying $400. Um, I understand that Nissan thinks that that's what he can pay right now, and that is below the request that Jackie made, which was that you pay $700 a month moving forward for each of you. Ben, would you chime in too, just so that we're kind of clear on where we are? Because it seems that the two of you, the two parties, are anchoring your amounts in pretty different directions. We want to come to some agreement here. Ben, would you please explain what are you willing to offer? What are you capable of doing?
well, listen, like we've spoken about, times are rough. Um, 700 is definitely not going to work for me. And I understand that Jackie, you're trying to be reasonable with us, and I do appreciate that, but like I said, 700 is just not going to work for me. Um, I would I having just crunching some numbers in my head right now. um, I think I would also be willing, to do 400, um, 400 going forward.
Okay, so I'm hearing that both tenants, Nissan and Ben, have suggested that $400 is what they can come up with in monthly payments to Jackie moving forward. Um, Jackie, would you tell us about how you feel when you hear this?
I mean, it just continues to be very, very frustrating. I'm appreciative of the fact that they're stating that they're willing to pay something, because that's, obviously an increase from the last few months. But I mean, just hear me out. If they're making, and maybe they don't want to hear this, but just if they're both making $900 a month approximately off their unemployment, you know, and they're paying me $400 a month, I'm paying their utilities. How many more bills could they have? I mean, come on, they live in the city, the metro. There's no really metro card fees right now. You can get on the bus and the train for free sometimes because of Corona. I mean, I just feel like it really is possible for them to come up a little bit more. I mean, if they can't do 700, 600 is like the lowest that I think is reasonable. And I really think that, to show their good faith here, that I can going forward expect them to pay me and expect them to pay me back what they already owe, offering more money when I know that it's probably possible, would really show me that I can count on them going forward. I mean, I really need a little bit higher just to feel confident. And listen, like I said, I'm not making a profit. This is not a profit. $700 wasn't a profit either. I'm barely making a profit when it's the full payment. Like I said, I just really need them to understand that. And I really do feel like I get that they're trying to keep more money, in their pockets, but like I keep saying, they still owe me this money. So I really need them to come up higher in what they're going to give me every month.
I hear you, Jackie, and I want to make sure that that Nissan and Ben have just heard the position that you were willing to put yourself in right now, which is to lower the amount, lower the monthly amount to even $600, with a consideration that you're still covering utilities and that you still have taxes and you still have other expenses related to your property. Um, what I heard from Nissan and Ben was a willingness to cooperate with you. And you've just come to a compromise here. And I want to make sure that position that you put yourself in is one that is heard and respected by Nissan and Ben. So Nissan and Ben, do you think that you can meet her there at $600 per month with the understanding that your utilities are still covered, you're awaiting benefits, and 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 Jackie's not doing this to turn a profit at all. Of course, there's no way imaginable that she could do that right now. She just wants to maintain the relationship with you. And I want to underline that the two of you two parties, the three of you all together, do have a great relationship because you were able to meet those requirements in the past. Nissan, you talked about how you had this excellent credit score and you went into this building with an excellent credit score, and the pandemic has just toppled everything over, but you don't want to lose that credit that you have, that reputation that you have for doing right by your landlord as a good tenant. Does $600 sound reasonable to you? Is that something that the two of you, Ben and Nissan, can do each month?
I think maybe in the near future it may be, but as of right now, I think 500 is my maximum. Um, I think in a couple of months I could see myself raising it to 600, but no more than 500.
Okay, so I've heard Nissan reluctantly with some reluctance, say no to the offer that that Jackie had just put there. Ben, where are you in terms of what you're able to contribute here each month?
Okay, so I just want to start by saying that Jackie, I don't I understand you're working with us here and you're trying, you're doing your best. I just don't appreciate the fact that you're you're calculating the money that I'm making and trying to figure out how much money I have left in order to pay you. Believe me, the objective here is not to screw you out of paying rent. You know, we are all hurting. So the way, so from going forward, I'd rather, not discuss those types of things. With that being said, I do understand that, you are working with us, and we're all here to try to find, come up with a solution until obviously, we're able to pay you in full. Hopefully, please God, sometime soon. Um, but I would be willing to go um, and pay 500 for the $500 for the upcoming months, like Nissan. Um, and That wasn't my plans, coming into this mediation, but it is something, being that you've, I see that you're working with us here, and you want us all to, pass each other in the lobby of the building, and we could all be friends. I think that 500 is a fair number to go with, just for the time being.
All right. So I've heard from both Nissan and Ben that what they can contribute here is $500. And Ben expressed a little bit of sensitivity over the issue of his finances. What we had to do was disclose to each other what kind of resources you all possess to understand what you're capable of offering. From each according to ability, right? So Jackie did tell us about the history of how she came to be a landlord in this building, and she disclosed a lot of what her finances were. Um, and she's making a request on you, Ben, as a tenant, to fulfill some part of the agreement that you all had made. I understand your sensitivity here, but it was a bit of a curt statement when you said that you did not want to talk anymore about your income, where it was coming from, or how you would pay what you've now agreed is $500. Could we be willing to continue to be open about our financial circumstances, as parties to this mediation? Because we may have to go into those details to understand why it is that we have the interest that we have. Why is it, Ben, if I may ask respectfully, that you feel that you're able to do $500 as opposed to the $600 that Jackie had come down to from the original lease agreement, from her offer today of 700? Could you please disclose a little bit more if you're willing?
Yeah, like I said, I'm a businessman. 500 is my number. I can't go lower. I can't afford to go lower. Before I came in here, I crunched the numbers of what I'm making, what I'm losing, and how much it costs to buy a gallon of milk. Everything was taken into account, and $500 is my number.
Okay, all right. I want to ask Jackie what she thinks of what Ben said, um, because he's saying that he calculated this, that this is not just some attempt to, if I don't want to put words in your mouth, Ben, but this is not just a number that he's throwing out from nowhere. This is a number that he's carefully considered, and this is what he's capable of paying now. Nissan's in a similar position, though he has different circumstances. He's in a similar position of being able to pay $500 a month. And I just want to hear from Jackie about that. And we need to also touch the issue of another term, which is that outstanding balance from the last 3 months.
So you said Nissan's willing to do 500 and Ben's willing to do how much?
500.
500 as well. Well, the thing is, I hear that they're wanting, saying that those are their numbers and they've gone through all their figures. But, I've gone through mine as well. And, I get that none of us really want to talk about money. And it's like especially a sensitive topic for everyone now because nobody likes to admit a struggle when it comes to money. But I have a number to meet as well. Like I keep reiterating, just to sustain what I have, and I think 550 each is the number that will get me to cover without 1 cent left over my bills. And even at that 550, I still need more of a guarantee about this back money. I would like to set a date of when it's expected to be paid, and I need more if they don't pay it. I can't leave here without a guarantee that at some point that money is going to be paid to me, because I don't want to go to court with them. I don't want to waste their time. I don't want to waste my time.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can we do 500 for the first 3 months and then 750 for the months after that? And I guess maybe we could reconvene if you feel that things aren't going great. Maybe we could have another mediation session in 3 to 6 months from now. But I think that we could do, at least on my end, I could do 500 for the next 3 months, then up that to 750 after that, and hopefully by the end of the year, I could get everything to you all at once by December 31st.
Well, thank you, Nissan, for that proposal. Jackie, how does that sound to you? Nissan's been very optimistic about what he's capable of right now, and I'm thinking that he really wants to work out a deal that's suitable. Tell us, Jackie, can that work for you?
I mean, it's nice to hear that he believes he'll be willing to go up in a few months. Because when you think about it, if you pay me 500 this month, there's an additional 500 to add to that already 3,000 and so on. So their debt is just going to increase to me. So I really do appreciate the extra contribution. Of course, I'm more than willing to take that, knowing that, the 750 is going to come. If for these couple months, I guess I could drop from 550 to 500. If Nissan's able to guarantee that in a couple months he's gonna go up again. But my concern is that's only coming from Nissan. But also I really respect the fact that he's guaranteeing that to me. What if realistically, what if it doesn't happen? Do we come back here? Like, are they willing to come back here? Because all court's gonna do and be is more time and money for all of us. So I need to hear from Ben. I need to hear more from Nissan. I just need to know what they're willing to do.
Okay, all right, Ben, please talk about
Well, listen,
those
this
terms.
is what this is what I'm willing to do. Like I said earlier, none of us are here to screw you out of the money that you rightfully deserve. We are all, we're trying to figure out how this can work so that everyone's happy. So like I said, I'm willing to pay you $500. I will pay you $500 for the next 3 months. After those 3 months, I would also be willing to pay the $750, but we have to, reconvene to discuss you know, how we go from there. And that all has to do with, you know, how the industries are you know, are doing. And, you know, that's just out of my control. But I am willing to do $500 right now, next 3 months, 750 for the following 3 months, and then we'll discuss and move on from there.
Now, it sounds like we've come together on the same position. We just need to make sure that there's consensus on the terms here, $500 a month for the next 3 months, and then 750 after that. And there's a wish by the three of you to reconvene in mediation to talk about how to move that forward again. Would you like to set a date to do
Yes,
this?
can I just add something?
Yes, please, Jen.
Even though, you know, we have this agreement of 500 for the next 3 months and then 750, I just don't want them to forget that there's going to be that additional money that's still being added to that 3,000. I just don't want that to get lost in the agreement. We're not agreeing to 500, 750, etc. as the new term. We're just agreeing to that because I want to give them a break during these hard times. I still need them to eventually pay back the portion that they're not able to currently contribute. I just don't want that to be lost in, you know, translation here, that like just because we're agreeing on this, like I just want to make sure before we proceed.
So we understand that the lease still holds, but she is negotiating, Jackie is negotiating a lower amount in your monthly payments with the onus still on you to pay that outstanding balance to her in the future when you're able. Do you agree to this, Nissan and Ben? Do you understand and agree to this?
Yes, I fully understand and agree to this.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's
That's
money
great.
you rightfully deserve.
I want to thank you so much. Um, I would like to come together and just reflect on what an awesome experience this has been. We were seeing each other from antagonistic perspectives initially, but we were able to come together, not out of out of a self-interest, but out of a collective interest to cooperate together in this shared living environment, one in which Jackie owns and runs a business, and she keeps you as reliable tenants in your homes. I'm so glad that we've been able to reach this agreement tonight. Thank you for your time. It has been incredibly well spent.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you for conducting these mediations as a professional matter.
Thank you.